Hello everyone, welcome back to another Commander review for Magic the Gathering. Today we're talking about He Who Hungers from the Champions of Kamigawa set. He Who Hungers is a legendary spirit, it's a 3/2, it has a mana value of 5, 4 generic mana, and 1 black mana. It has the keyword flying, as well as soul shift, which I'll mention in just a second. And then it has a activated ability for 1 mana and sacrifice a spirit that can include He Who Hungers. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. Choose a card from it. That player discards that card. Play this ability only any time you could play a sorcery. And there is a ruling with this. We'll talk about that in a second too. But Soul Shift, which is another keyword, is specifically from this set. I would love to make... and I'm sure I will when I get to like the mono green spirit arcane deck, because that has a lot of soul shift in it. But soul shift is whenever this creature dies, you can... I'm going to read the text from my phone here just so I can get it correctly to you guys. So this has soul shift 4. When this creature dies, you may return target spirit card with mana value 4 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Essentially, most of, there are a few exceptions, if a spirit has soul shift, it will always be the value 1 less than the mana value of the card. So He Who Hungers is a 5 mana spirit, therefore the soul shift will be 4. If it's a 3 mana spirit, then generally it's Soul Shift 2, or if it's a 4 mana spirit, it's Soul Shift 3. There are a few exceptions to that, but generally it's this idea of a big spirit dies, so a smaller spirit can come back and then take its place. And there are some cool cycles you can build around this strategy, but it's not popular, it's not that strong. I would love to see something about that played in the future if we can go back to Kamigawa, because I know we got a lot of cool tech stuff, we got a cool new ninja upgrades, artifact upgrades, samurai upgrades, but I feel like we kind of lacked in the spirit department of Neon Dynasty, and I imagine that's mostly because Neon Dynasty is very sci-fi, cyberpunk, futuristic kind of stuff. So the spirits aren't as relevant to the set, but I would love to see a spirit-focused set again where we see Soul Shift or a similar mechanic come back for that. As far as the ruling for the activated ability, if you cast this during your normal main phase, it will enter the battlefield and you'll receive priority. As long as no one does anything, then what this rule is saying is once it enters the battlefield, and you have red priority, you can immediately then use its ability and put it on the stack. So that way you don't have to worry too much about like interaction of someone trying to immediately blow it up. The rules will be like, I cast it, nothing happens, it enters the battlefield, and I have priority, because nothing triggered from it entering the battlefield. If something triggers when He Who Hungers enters the battlefield, then we have to resolve that stack. During that process, someone can then instant speed blow it up. But if it enters the battlefield and nothing happens, you maintain priority as the player who cast it, and therefore can immediately use its ability at sorcery speed to then discard a card from someone's hand. So, very cool card, and again, just keeping up with the rules of how priority works when you are resolving spells from the stack. A card to synergize, of course, is Geth's Grimoire. If we're going to be discarding our opponent's hand, we might as well draw cards from that, so great card to do that. The deck that I am building for He Who Hungers is, of course, a Spirit Arcane deck. There is some Soul Shift in this deck, of course, which is going to be fun. A lot of fun reanimation synergies. Artifacts and enchantments and creatures that want me to cast more spirit and arcane spells, and then arcane spells, a subtype of instant and sorceries, which again I would love to see come back in a future Kamigawa or future Japanese inspired set. would be really cool. I would love to see that. And yeah, very fun. And the Splice to Arcane, which is not represented here, but there are certain cards that are like, when you cast an arcane spell, you can pay this additional cost, like a kicker cost, and then add a spell's ability from your hand onto the arcane spell itself. Really cool mechanic. I love it a lot, and I'd love to see it come back. Popular deck idea on EDH Rec is, of course, a discard themed deck, very powerful in mono black and very easy to construct. And then a janky, unique, weird deck idea is like a group discard strategy where you are trying to discard everyone's hand size, including yours, so you can get the benefits of Hellbent is the keyword. There's not a lot of Hellbent cards, but there are a lot of cards that want you to have one or less cards in your hand to get benefits. And then you can also gain access or bonuses from this effect by wanting to discard cards from your hand so you can pay their madness cost, like Call of them to the Netherworld, which has a madness cost of 0, which is really cool. So this is a group discard strategy rather than a oppressive discard strategy. So slightly different. Generally though, you're going to win the same way. You're going to want your opponents to discard a lot, to not have the ability to play spells because they don't have cards in their hand, and so on and so forth. You'll win the same way, you're just doing it with a slight twist is all. But I love Hellbent. I love the idea of not having cards in your hand and wanting to discard your own hand to win the game. And that is going to do it for He Who Hungers. Fun card. Unfortunately, because Mono Black is so good with the discard strategy, and there's so many cheaper or stronger discard commanders, He Who Hungers is actually the first not popular commander that I found in the Champions of Kamigawa set. So it unfortunately got the rank of D tier, which I believe is 6 different deck ideas that are built around it. Of course, it's spirit type, as tribal, discard strategy, other strategies that revolve around reanimation and stuff like that. So not a whole lot of deck ideas that are currently existing for He Who Hungers, but who knows, maybe we'll get a spirit set in the future or a soul shift set in the future. I would love to have soul shift come back. Please, Wizards, do something with soul shift, do something with the arcanes. I love it so much. So not a popular commander. It has the D tier rank, but still really cool. A lot of fun ideas you can build around, and a pretty good budget commander if you want to build any of these strategies, but you don't want to have a huge target on your back, or you want to save some money when you build the deck. So really cool card, and that's going to do it for He Who Hungers. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything I missed, or any strategies or deck ideas, synergies or combos I didn't talk about. And thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a lot of fun making these videos. I'm going to try and keep it more consistent. Though like I've said in a previous video already, these will probably get shuffled in and sporadically put out with my other content that I'm making, just so that way I'm not trying to like stack a ton of videos up every single day and then I fall behind for a little bit and then I have to stack them up again. So I'm going to try and be more consistent with getting videos out every day. And to do that, I'm going to intermingle these videos amongst the other videos that I make. So go check those out while these videos are coming out. And yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited. Lots of content coming your way. Lots of cool projects that I'm working on. So thank you again for watching. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!